channel. For those of you who are new, I'm not sure how you got here, but certainly I'm glad you came. And if you are new here, well, you're in for a treat. All right, if you enjoy beauty, you enjoy horror with a little bit of commentary thrown in between, I suggest you go on ahead and subscribe for the low, low price of $0. I will tell you a random fact about myself. He's already up to some shit. Today's random fact. All right, here we go. Are you guys ready? Every time I've met a celebrity, I have pretty much dragged them because they were being rude in public. All right, that is me. See Austin Peck. He was on Days of Our Lives. He was a rude little shit. I felt like I needed to put him in his place. All right, and here are my socials. I have nothing good to say after that. I don't like it when people treat other people poorly. I don't care how much money you have. It's just unseemly. All right, we're just gonna go ahead and get started because obviously, I have like such a small amount of time to try to do this because I have a live. I am actually getting myself ready for my patrons live and I'm like, girl, you are running behind. The skin though, glowing. All right, so what are we here with today? Well, today I thought it would be fun to talk about the concept of hard work. So it's a little fun. We're gonna just do a little bit of eye fun. We're gonna call it eye fun. And I might just go ahead and play with my adept shadows again, but maybe not. You know what? I'm gonna make something else. We're gonna see what we're gonna make. We're gonna make whatever it is that I feel like making, and it's gonna be fun. All right, so what I feel like doing today is I feel kind of like playing with the Oasis palette again because I enjoyed that greatly. So may as well have some more fun, and we're just gonna chat it up, aren't we? Aren't we? We are. So I'm gonna bring you in just a little bit closer, but not too close because I'm working my mommy new face right now, and like, I mean, she's in a good mood right now, but we'll see what happens. Y'all, I don't know why I don't like to be centered, and I hope that doesn't bother y'all, but it's like my favorite thing. All right. Hard work. So one of the reasons I actually wanted to talk about this is because it's like this pervasive idea, and we're seeing it more and more now, especially now, because when I tell you the amount of times that I have seen that concept come up again and again, like, oh, work hard, hard work, work hard, hard work, hard work, hard work. Listen, this idea has been shuffled and pushed into us since as long as I can remember. Like, I don't remember a time when somebody wasn't saying, if you work hard then, you know what I mean? And that's always been the case. And we've been inundated with this idea since we were children. So don't think I'm making this up, since we were children, because they legitimately tell us all the time, if you work hard, then da 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 da. But in elementary school, one of the things we often get told repeatedly is, okay, well, if you work hard, you'll have these things. And then if you have some difficulty with something, ask us, we'll help you. Okay, all right. And that's what we are told regularly. Work hard, but if you need help, if you need a hand, then we'll help you with this. You know what I mean? So, you know, if you were struggling in math or something like that, someone was there. They were like, oh, I'll help you. And you're like, okay, great, thank you. You know what I mean? It was nice that someone would be there to help you out when you were struggling. Now though, when you become an adult, if you run into any kind of problems when you've worked hard, suddenly you are frowned at and you are looked down upon. Like, how dare you need help, number one, but actually reach out for that help. You know what I mean? Like if in elementary school you had some difficulties and you needed some help getting some shit done, see, I knew that this palette was gonna be fire as fuck to use in conjunction. I was right. All right, so anyhow. Ooh, baby. I am falling for it again. Okay, anyways. But when you needed help, like it just seems very interesting to me, because like I remember if you had trouble in math, you could go get a tutor and boom, you were like, there you were taken care of, you got the help you needed. Nobody had shit to say to you. But interestingly, as an adult, you do the same thing. Let's say you lose your job and you need to get on government assistance, and then suddenly it's just like, loser. You know, if you get unemployment, anything you do as an adult regarding getting any help, you're suddenly not doing enough. You're suddenly not working hard enough. You somehow made bad choices in life. That's my other favorite, is like you made bad choices in life because you didn't work hard. Man, the way people just work against their own interests, it actually stuns me on a spiritual level regularly, because I just sit there like, y'all serious right now? You don't see what they're doing? Like, the rich want you to vote against your own damn interests and fight against other people who are poor, and they don't care about you. Like, they don't care. They're not doing anything to help you. They're never going to. But okay, you do you. So you will have people sitting there looking people in the face, being like, well, you know what, and if anybody was on government assistance, because there's always that like magic person who was, you know what I mean? But they worked hard to get off. They worked hard. You didn't, they did. They worked hard to get off of government assistance, and they'll tell their story all the time, like, but I got off of it. I'm not some bum. That's my favorite. I'm not some bum. As if getting help makes you a bum. And then if something bad does happen to people, it's like, oh, well, why didn't you ask for help? Bitch, which is it? Do I ask for help? Or do I just lose everything? Like, people go bankrupt, lose everything they've ever had just because they won't ask for help. And you know why they won't ask for help? Because it's ingrained in us not to. Like, you can, but up until a certain point. Like, once you're an adult, asking for help is a no-no. You know what I mean? You can't be doing that shit. I am so sorry. I should tell you that this might be a cuss-laden video because I'm really, really annoyed. I'm a little heated because I found out some information that has actually just made me want to punch somebody in the mouth, but I'm not going to. That I'm really getting to is, but what is working hard? Like, does anybody know what working hard is? Like, what is working hard? What does it mean? What does it mean to work hard? Because I think a lot of people are on the same boat when they are like, I don't really want to work that hard again. And here's the thing. Life isn't about work, right? And I've heard so many people say this. T from Nappy Headed Jojoba has said this. So many people have said this. But like, life isn't about work. It just isn't. Like, it really does bother me. Ooh, I've got an idea. It really does bother me the way that we just keep trying to make life be about work when it shouldn't be. But we just sit there saying like, no, but it is. And it's like, but it isn't. Like, life isn't about work. We didn't work hard. Like, most people the work that they're doing is because they want to have a life, right? So the idea is, if you want to have a life, your plan of action is to, ooh, yes, bitch. Okay, so sorry. I turned myself on just a little bit. I apologize. If you want to have a life, you have to work. And we've been told this for a long time. At 40 years old, let me just tell you,
that's not true.
Because this idea that if you just keep like working as hard as you can for the man and giving them just like everything that they want, then you're gonna get what you want, right? But you don't. You work and you work and you work. Most people, after doing some calculations, are never ever gonna, like, most Americans are gonna max out at around 75K a year. Like, that's gonna be where most people max out as adults because of the way that they do raises and how shitty everything is. It's like, it's pretty fucked up. It's true, but that's how it works. Like, legitimately, where most of us are never ever going to make $100,000 a year in our lifetime. I'm not talking about in a lifetime, just a year. And because of that, it's very frustrating because you do all the things you're supposed to do. You go to college and you get your bachelor's degree, which at this point in our lives has basically become
a high school diploma.
Which, wow. Never thought I'd see that, but it's true. Like, now we're in a place where your bachelor's degree is essentially a high school diploma. Jobs are like really in this bitch asking people to have a master's degree and earn $15 an hour. Like, I've seen the job postings. It's insane. And I just look at them going, okay, here's the thing. I'm not saying that being an administrative assistant isn't hard. I am not. I would never say such a thing. I'm never going to sit and say that one job, like a job, isn't hard, especially if I don't do it. But I have done that. I find it so interesting, and I mean interesting. I find it ridiculously interesting how they go about coming up with these like really bullshit requirements for these jobs. Like they legitimately look people in the face and go, yes, in order for you to be an administrative assistant at our company, you need a bachelor's degree. And I'm like, what? Now, the reason I'm like, what, is because I remember when you didn't need that at all. Like, I truly remember, because again,
Resident old bitch of YouTube.
I remember when you did not need such a thing. Like, you did not need a bachelor's degree to be an administrative assistant. Like, you needed a high school diploma, and even that was negotiable, but you didn't need a whole ass degree because it wasn't a specialized field. Do you know what I mean? And it's still not. It wasn't a specialized field that would require you to have knowledge that you wouldn't have otherwise. It just, like, that wasn't and isn't the case. So what I started to find interesting, especially as I'm job hunting, is how many of these jobs do that. And then I just asked myself, like, well, what are you gonna be asking people to do that is gonna require them to need a bachelor's degree and working hard, right? Because what they really mean when they say these things like hard work and above and beyond and whatever, it's just, first of all, those are all bullshit ass terms. They're all bullshit, they're all buzzwords, and they're really there because what they want you to say in the interview is that you're gonna work overtime, you're not gonna wanna get paid overtime pay for working overtime, and you're just there for the good of the company, all right? That's the bullshit that they're actually wanting from you. So don't get it twisted that they like actually care. They don't. Those are all buzzwords to find out like if you will let them not pay you. Like, that's it. That's all that is. They're like, will you let us not pay you? And as soon as you're like, no, which none of us do because we don't really know what above and beyond means, then they hire us. They go, okay, well, you can have a job. And you're like, okay, great, thank you. Then you start said job. Now I know some of y'all sitting there like, Audra, I thought you were gonna talk about hard work. I am. So here's the thing about hard work. What is it? What defines hard work? And the reason I bring this up is because you start this job and you work hard, you know, when we've all done that. And I think the thing about having all this time, whether you're working or not, but having all this time in quarantine, we've all begun to really look at, I mean, I knew this for a little while. I just wouldn't admit it to myself, which I suspect a lot of us didn't. But we've all begun to really look at that definition. Like, what exactly is working hard? What does that mean to me? Because previously it meant basically giving up your entire life. Like, the goal was you give up everything, every single thing, all of it. You give up all of it. And your life is about work. Your life is giving everything you can to your job. When they need you, you're there. When they call you on a fucking Saturday, there you are. When, you know, they need you to work late, even though you had plans and now you have to change them, there you are, right? That's what it used to mean. But a lot of us in quarantine are starting to reevaluate our lives, and we're really starting to look at, you know what, I don't want to live like that anymore. We're starting to realize all the things that we left behind. And I especially feel some kind of way for parents, because I do think that parents have had it very rough. I'm not one, but I know people who are. And I think parents have had it very rough for a very long time, having to choose between being a parent and also like having an income and having a job and having good money that they can rely on to pay bills and take care of their families. And I talked about this before in my last Get Ready With Me, where I was talking about the stimulus and how angry people were getting about the extra $600. It's weird to me because you know, it being taken away, not angry about, although there were some people who, again, letting the capitalist system like destroy them. But there were some people who just really didn't get the memo. But the thing that I found most disheartening in all of that was just like, why are we living in a system that constantly devalues us as workers? Because I know most of us in here have said this at a desk at one time or another. And I feel very confident in saying this because I feel like some of y'all, if you're listening, if you're just listening, you're gonna nod. And if you're watching, you're gonna nod. And you might say something back, who knows? But you've heard this before when you've been at work. I just lost my train of thought. This is it. I'm so sorry. I do have diagnosed ADD, so I apologize. But you've heard this before where you said, you know, if I drop dead at my desk,
they'd have another body here in the morning.
And we like to pretend that we're saying that with a joke, but behind every joke is a bit of a truth. Isn't there though? There is. And behind that joke is a definite truth. FYI, if you're wondering how I got this glorious purple shade, I mixed the blue with the pink that's in here. I'm gonna show it to you because y'all, I love this palette. Now I'm falling in love with it. Like, I thought I really liked it, but now I'm falling in love with it because what I did is I put the blue on, this blue here, and then I was like, ooh, that's a little too dark. And then I mixed this pink in. Baby! I'm gonna have to play on this side now. We gonna make the edges the same. Fuck this shit. All right. Anyway, so the fact that we knew that and that we all know people were saying that, like, oh, if I drop dead, we know we're replaceable. Like, we already know we're replaceable. That's sad to me. Like, honestly, think about how sad that is for us. Like, we know we're replaceable and yet we still go to work. You know, and even now, here they are getting us to our work harder position. And the thing is, we've all been sitting, we've all, you know, been home. Well, not all, but, you know, obviously when people who are essential workers, I was one and I had to be at work, and that, I can tell you, was really shitty. And I can't imagine how much shitty it was for them when they weren't getting any kind of additional hazard pay, nothing. Still aren't, by the way, and the pandemic not gone. So anyway, still there. It's still out here doing the absolute most. Ooh, I just love this. Ooh, bitch. Okay, so sorry. I'm playing with my JD Glow and all this stuff. Like, y'all don't come for me. Listen, I'm having a really good time, so let me have it. The point is that I feel like we've been told our entire lives to work hard, and if we work hard, we'll get rewards. But what rewards are we really gonna get except for high blood pressure, heart attacks, headaches, divorce, relationships being broken? Because what happens when you have to work hard all the time is eventually that's like all you can do anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, all you can do is work. If you keep getting calls after hours when you were supposed to have, you know, an outing with either a date or friends, like, you have to keep canceling. And you know what happens when you cancel so much? People get fucking tired of it and people stop inviting you to things. And so, like, work doesn't care that your entire life is falling apart. So that's why I ask, what is working hard? Because it seems to me, it's just making sure you hand yourself over to the capitalist system just like they want, sit in your cubicle, work until you die, don't have any savings, because believe me, this system is not set up for you, me, anybody.
Oh, hey there. I am fully aware that I am very aggressively moving this brush across my face. Apparently I got heated, so just like don't aggressively do anything to your face the way that I'm doing right now. I don't know how I'm able to stay somewhat youthful looking having done this maneuver, but like don't judge me for that. Okay. See you later.
Like any of us regular people, they don't want us to have money. They do not. It's very important that we don't have money. It's very important that we can't start a business. It's very important that we can't pass down wealth, because then they won't have anybody to work for them. And that actually, makes me very annoyed. Because think about this. Think about the fact that we have to do things like with our life insurance and all of this. We're always, having to plan our end of life and do all this stuff in a way that rich people just never have to do. They're never going to have to do it like that. They're never going to run into it. It's never going to really be a problem for them, aside from them putting their will onto which family member they're going to drop gobs of money on. And that's so weird to me, because it's like, I just don't even understand that concept of that kind of wealth. And the reason I don't understand it is because it's just like, that's more money. Like, Jeff Bezos has more money than anybody could, like, lifetimes of money. That's what he has.
Lifetimes
Of money. And I don't understand having that kind of wealth, and like that we think that's okay. This country glamorizes wealth in a really weird way, and does it in such a way that it's like we're supposed to feel like one day we could be there, and that's why we vote against, well, not we, but that's how they get people to vote against themselves, is basically tricking them into like, well, what if you got a lot of money? And you're like, what? So anyway, back to working hard. What is it? Because I feel like all they really want us to do, I know all they really want us to do, all they really want us to do is shut up and work, okay? Truly they do. They want us to shut up. They want us to go to our jobs. And the myth of a payoff doesn't exist, because we can't even vacation anymore. Most of us cannot go on any vacation of any form ever. Like, most of us can't vacation at all. We'd like to, but seriously, we can't. You don't have the money. Anytime, any place that you would want to go, and I'm talking, pre-COVID, after COVID. That's why they invented shit like staycation, to trick all of us into feeling like good about not being able to afford to go on vacation. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Like, this is the shit that they do. And they keep telling us, if you work hard, then you will reap rewards. And maybe that was true a long time ago. I think the reason I'm really like on a tip for this is because the amount of boomers that I run into in workplaces that are regularly saying some silly shit like, the generations of kids today don't know what it's like to work hard. You're like, what do you mean? If by work hard, like, what is it that we're supposed to do? Because they feel like even things like YouTube, right? They get very like resentful of people making money doing YouTube, people making money doing TikTok. They're so resentful of it. Not all, but there's a chunk of them who are. And they get very resentful of it. And they're very shitty about it, and they have so much to say about it. And the reason why is because they're annoyed, and first of all, they think that this isn't hard work. Get the fuck out of here with that. But they're annoyed that we found that people have found ways to circumvent that bullshit office cubicle life, right? People have started to go, okay, well, if you're not gonna let us start our own businesses because I don't want to work like that, right? That's what a lot of us are saying. I don't want to work like that. Is this dark brown or is this the what? Oh, good. It is the dark brown. God. A lot of people are saying that. I don't want to work like that. I don't want to work like you did. And you have the parent, like, people looking at me like, well, I don't know, these kids these days, they don't want to work hard. What do you mean? Like, don't you think that we've learned from watching? Like, what I've learned from watching boomers is like, here's what's gonna happen. You are gonna spend your entire life working at a job you don't really like for a retirement that doesn't actually exist. It may or may not be there when you're ready to retire. And then you're still probably gonna have to work after that, because you probably had to dip into some of your retirement savings just to live, because while the cost of living goes up, your pay does not go with inflation. So cost of living goes up, but the pay never changes. And I've talked about that before, but the pay never changes. The entry level pay is still the same. Housing has like triples, quadruples, nothing changes there. So it's just like, what are we working for? Like, what? Like, I understood when there was like a pension. I understood when there was an actual plan in place for you to be able to retire. I understood when you had a job that if you got sick, they kept your job for you. Like, I understood the concept of like, yeah, work hard. But now that concept doesn't really make a lot of sense, because it's like, why are we working really hard to make other people rich and they do nothing for us. Like nothing. Like watching our country handle this pandemic has just really like cemented for me how awful our system really is. Like it's become nightmarish. My eyebrows are on some bullshit. We're not gonna talk about it. Anyway, but it actually has become a bit of a nightmare because, you know, well, it's actually more than a bit. It's a full-on, hardcore nightmare at this point because they're honestly looking us all in the face. These companies looked everybody in the face and are currently still doing it, like, come back to work. And people are like, I'm sorry, what? Come back what? And they're like, come back to work, it's fine. Like there's not still a whole ass pandemic happening. The case numbers are rising. They are not going down. They are not plateauing. Like none of that is happening. And yet here they are just like, come back to work. That needs to tell us everything. You need to, if you live in an apartment complex or you live wherever you live, you need to start looking at your neighbors. And if those people are not going to work and their jobs are having them do remote work, you need to figure out where they work and start trying to see if you can work for them because this is some shit. Like this just, wow. So we've all worked hard. I've worked hard. And I just feel like, you know, I've really, for the most part, gotten nothing for it. Like I haven't gotten anything that made me just be like, oh my God, I'm super glad that I, you know, wasted a good portion of my life on not pursuing my dreams because these people were like, oh, you shouldn't follow your dreams because that's not realistic and whatever. And you're like, okay, so we did it, right? And we went into our jobs, accounting, whatever it is that we did, and still getting no flowers, still getting no love. Like, what the hell? And I just want them, and every time you ask somebody, like, define work harder. Like, define work hard, because people are working hard. And listen, I'm going to say it. Nobody should have to work 2 jobs just to live. Let me say that again. Nobody should have to work 2 jobs just to live. No one. Like, that is absolutely ridiculous. That should not be a thing. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing that we're like, no, that's fine. It's not fine. This is not okay. No one should have to do that. And on top of that, no one should have to climb a corporate ladder. Like, no one should have to. Like, me personally, I am not a corporate ladder person. I legitimately just want to go to a job until I get my own little business up and running. I just want to go to a job. I want to work my allotted 8 hours and then I want to leave. Like, I don't want to do anything extra. I don't even want to go to your work functions. I hate them. I hate them. I don't even want to go to your work functions. I want to come to work and I want to leave. I don't want to go to your rah-rah meetings because listen, here's what's going to happen. It's the same thing, and I've talked about this, but you guys just watch because it's happening now. The economy is in the garbage. And I'm telling you, I have to keep saying it because I know people are gonna sit there and be like, no, I lived through the last one. And I saw exactly this. The same thing is going to happen. What they are going to do is the thing that they always do, which they've already started. I know people, they've already started telling people you ain't getting no raise, right? You know what I'm talking about. You ain't getting no raise. We can't afford raises this year. Okay, and you all say, okay. You know, because you understand, we all understand. But guarantee you, the next year, no raises. No raises. Then, when they do decide, when they deign to give you a raise, do not be surprised when it is just like pennies. Pennies. They're just going to throw crumbs at you, and they're going to try to explain that due to the economic downturn. No, girl. They've used this. This is going to be another time that they are using the shit ass economy to not pay you. They've already not paying you, but they're going to use the economy to not pay you.
Hi there. I'm literally here because I took a shower and I wanted you to know that. No bearing on the conversation. I was just really proud of myself because I'm clean. You're welcome.
Yes, boo. They're going to use this economy to not pay you. They're going to be like, oh, well, you know, the economy. And they're going to keep using that as long as they possibly can. And they're still going to have those rah-rah meetings where basically they're going to be telling you that like things are getting better, not the economy, but the business is booming. You guys are doing such a great job. We appreciate all of you. I guarantee you. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. And you're all going to just look at them side eye, just like, oh, it's doing so well, where the fuck's my money? You're not getting any. All right, just, you're not getting a piece of that pie. And even worse, they're gonna start, like, when they start hiring more people, which right now they're not doing it, but when they do, just prepare yourself that new people are gonna be getting paid more than you. And you're like, but girl, you said we were in an economy. I did say we were in an economic downturn. I didn't finish that sentence. But anyways, I did say that. And do you know what's going to happen? They go use that. They go use it. And then they're going to pay other people more money than you. Because remember, you haven't been getting raises. And that's why. You haven't been getting raises. They're going to pay these people more money than you. And you're going to be sitting there a whole ass fool being mad. But yeah, you're going to sit in there being mad. And the entire time that we have been told to work hard and do everything we can to get something, we work hard so that when the economy crashes, we are left with nothing. Those of us down here are scrambling for our lives to be able to survive. These rich people are over there singing songs and not donating a damn dime. And what do we have? Like pensions that don't exist. Like 401k is not a retirement plan. Just FYI, that's not a retirement plan. If it were a retirement plan, then there wouldn't be people who had survived the last economic crisis currently still working because their retirement plan was destroyed. Like their entire retirement money's taken from them. Weak sauce, but true sauce. I just want to know what you guys think about that and the concept of work hard, because I just get tired of it. I feel like a lot of us are looking at it now. Like I put up this TikTok and I mean, I don't get it. I don't get this like constant move to tricking people into believing that they're gonna work hard, because this system is not designed for any of us to make it. I mean, the closest most of us are gonna get to having like anywhere near wealth is hopefully winning the lottery. And that's why we scoff at those people. You know what I mean? We scoff at people for like trying to do that. But you know what? I get it. You know? I get why they're doing it. I get why they spend their dollars. Like we want to look at them, but there's like, it's the only bit of scrap of hope they have left is like, hopefully they can win the lottery and quit their job. And I say that because like, don't we all, like when we're at work and whatnot and you're talking with your work friends and everybody has the conversation about like what you would do if you won the lottery, like what you would do. And we all have our story about how we would tell our boss, you know what we tell our bosses, you know. And we all have our stories about what we would tell our bosses and how we would treat them and all that good stuff. Because we know deep down, like all of us know, if we could get out of ever having to go back to our shit ass jobs again, we wouldn't go back. Now, granted, there are people who love what they do, and I'm not taking anything away from them. And if that's you, I'm not talking to you, boo. I'm talking to the rest of us who have been doing this and slogging through all these years with like no return. There's no return. Like there's really nothing's gonna happen. We're all just gonna be sitting there like sad little eggs, because that's what we be doing. Like sad little eggs. And I sincerely hate that. Like I hate it with a fiery passion. Like it honestly makes me angry to levels I can't even begin to describe, because it's just like, why could, and literally everything that we do is like taxed so hard. We're made to not be able to pass down money because we can't afford anything anymore. Like it's enough is enough. I'm so sorry. I'm on a little rant. But I'm just saying, I feel like there's so many people that I have watched regularly work hard. They are out in these streets, they're working their asses off, and they're still getting paid dust. And I'm just kind of tired of it. I don't know how you guys feel. And I know that this is a little bit ranty, and I guess maybe it's just, you know, my anxiety about having to go back into the workforce again and pretend that I'm going to, you know, give my all to a company that ain't gonna give shit to me. They ain't gonna give me shit. I'm sorry, I just made a whole ass song about how companies aren't gonna give me shit. Like, but it's true though. You know, these companies, they're not gonna do anything for you. They have not and they will not. If you get sick, well, that's, you know, your bad luck. You know, all of these things, it's just like, well, that's your bad luck. I mean, shit, while we were in a pandemic, they were forcing people to use their paid time because they couldn't be open. Their paid time. And it's not like these companies were just like weak ass, like little small mom and pop. No, these were not mom and pop companies. No, these were corporations forcing people to use their paid time when this first went down before they even started doing remote work. Like, force people to use their paid time. Are y'all serious right now? No, get right out of here. No, it actually genuinely makes me sad. Oh, use all your paid time. And then, you know. So once again, it's gonna be another fun year of staycations. All right, so I just did a random ass TikTok transition. So I feel like all I really did was rant about how, like, there's no such thing as working hard, because it's really just the system trying to trick you into feeling like you're not good enough because you didn't work hard enough. Like, if you don't have things, or if you are failing in life, it's because you didn't work hard enough, but you are working hard enough. You are enough. You're amazing. All right, guys, I have got to go. I am ready for my live. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Sorry, I was such a ranty ass bitch, and I will see you guys next time. First of all, though, we do have to say hello and what's up to my patrons. You guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. I'm glad I got ready for you. You guys got to see this before everybody else. So what's up? All right, guys, until next time, I love each and every one of you. Please be safe out there. Don't let the anxiety beat you when you have to actually go back into your workplaces. Find a nice calm spot and breathe. All right, I love you guys. And until next time, deuces! Oh shit, that's a whole